Thank you, Aaron. Good morning, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Patrick Saylor, and I had the privilege of going to West Island College from grade 7 to 12, graduating in 2007. This is my second year on the Alumni Committee, and I have the honor of presenting the next award winner. The recipient of the West Island College prestigious Alumni Award for Business embodies the qualities of an exemplary business leader who has career accomplishments that deserve recognition. The candidate is a driven competitor in the business world, but also someone who remains dedicated in making his or her community better through generous time and energy outside of the workplace. This year's recipient, Aaron Logan, class of 2004, led the engineering and intellectual properties team at Evolution Engineering as the Vice President of Engineering, and now works at Exire, a local startup focused on ethical recovery of precious metals, as the Chief Commercial Officer. We'd like to congratulate Aaron on the prestigious Alumni Award for Business.
All right, we got short people up here. I can actually just keep this where it is. So thank you, Patrick, for the kind introduction, and thank you most of all for the Alumni Committee for giving me the honor of this prestigious award. And in receiving this award, I had the opportunity to do some self-reflection. And at first, I wasn't too sure why. Obviously, you look at it in a humbled manner, and you look at the people that came before you. There's a vast, vast network of WIC alumni that are leaders in and amongst their own rights, in their own organizations, in and amongst their own areas of expertise. And then I also see there's a dragon up there. I never knew that. That's amazing. So it really humbled me to see that. And being worthy of this great recognition, I appreciate absolutely every aspect of the peers that brought me to this point in this podium. And I don't mean to discuss that too far, but it's very much appreciated. So I've always had a fascination with technology, and technology innovation over the years when I was growing up, it was actually quite slow. The internet was just coming about, and you don't hear that very often. You probably hear from all of your parents quite frequently, but the internet was just a thing when I was growing up. And the rapid advancement that has occurred since then is astonishing. And when I look up here on the traits that the West Island College is instilling upon you, you have confidence, you have creativity, and you have connection. And confidence is a key aspect of what gives you the ability to adapt to that rapidly changing world. And I myself have had to adapt several times. In university, I took mechanical engineering, materials engineering, Queens. I then left. I was in oil and gas, as most people in Calgary were at one point in time, maybe not so much anymore. But I was in oil and gas, and I left the oil and gas industry just recently, selling my company to a private equity firm. But in doing so, I had the opportunity to grow an organization from 5 people. I was one of 5 founding members of the organization, to over 93 individuals with 3 locations in North America. And we had a patent portfolio upwards of 600 patents to the organization's name. I myself, this is a humble brag, I'm sorry, have over 400 to my name. So it was very humbling to get 1 patent, and then as soon as they went past 10, it's like, oh, I'm 18 already, I can drink, so who cares past 10? It's that type of a situation, but the world evolves so rapidly and so quickly that you need to be capable of being confident in moving forward with your abilities and adapting to the rapidly changing environment. So, to me, you have to create your own path, and to do that you need the confidence. And WIC, I didn't really believe it at the time. I thought it was all marketing material. I think I actually went back on the way back in time machine on the internet to figure out what the actual mission statement was for my time frame. So to foster sound values, a passion for knowledge, the development of relevant skills, and the pursuit of excellence in the world of today and tomorrow. And to the large part, that's still true. But as an individual that's had to hire over 90 people, actually, and also lay off more than 40, but then grow it back up again to 90 people. I was in oil and gas, so keep that in mind. The value that I saw most time and time again wasn't necessarily education. I apologize because this is an education firm, but it's the values that you have as an individual. And education gets you in the door. It doesn't ensure you're successful. Education is not necessarily going to guarantee that you will have a job. It's not going to guarantee that you're going to be capable of actually being employed. There's a lot of people in this great city that aren't employed right now. They all have educations, for the most part. It's your passion, it's your drive, it's your creativity, it's your ability to reinvent yourself over and over and over again. And when I sold my organization in 2017, I stuck around for 3 more years and determined that oil and gas was no longer for me. So as Patrick's alluded, I've moved on to a new venture, a new startup, where we actually do ethical recovery of gold and precious metals from electronics. So I took on the role as chief commercial officer in that organization, from the pillaging of the environment and the oil and gas over to the helping to save it. So I think I can sleep better at night now. So you've had to reinvent yourself several times, time and time again, and the confidence that you have to do that and continue to do that is extremely important. So I think of all of that, blah, 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 words, words, words. So of all of that, I just wanted to share one aspect of my career that really stands out to me. So I talked about education being a means of getting in the door, not necessarily securing your future. But in and of that, it's about being present in the moment. It's about being capable of showing your true self. Because one of the things that I look for when I was hiring individuals in my organization was, it sounds petty, but do I want to be friends with that person? And hear me out on this, Do I want to be friends with that person? And I equate the workplace to friendships. And I have a belief that hiring people, you should be looking for individuals that you want to be friends with. And that is purely because the fact that friends don't let friends down. And you raise yourself to a higher standard when you know you're working along colleagues that you trust, that you support. And when your colleague is struggling in their role, you help them out. And friendship to me, the connections, I see connections up there, it's all over the school. Connections to me is the most important aspect of what makes business successful. Because without actually having that drive to be better, to make sure that you aren't letting your friends down in your organization, there's no point. Because you're just there collecting a paycheck. And some of you may want to do that, but that's your own device. I think it's important to know that you have to be true to yourself, you have to show your true self, you have to be agile, you have to reinvent yourself, you have to have those connections, you have to work towards building a better future. So that is, to me, one of the biggest portions of it. In my short time as an executive and an entrepreneur, I've learned through the School of Hard Knocks. You don't learn a whole lot in university besides just getting in the door. It's, hey, I know where to look it up in a textbook. I know where to look in that table to get the job, but it's not necessarily how you're going to advance your career. And as we change so quickly, and my generation is probably the cause of it, the instant gratification, the social medias, the constant flashing of the lights on your phone, you always have to be plugged in. You always have to be moving forward. And that, I think, is extremely important, that we've had to reinvent ourselves several times, and we have to keep on going forward with that. From multiple perspectives, I think the teamwork is imperative. And if you aren't necessarily going to be friends with the person, work with them. So it's really important that you show yourself as a leader in the organization, you show yourself for who you are, and you show yourself as a contributor. But the best part, you need to do everything with passion, with drive, perseverance, and confidence. And I think you guys are all set up to be leaders. You're all set up to be alumni of the WIC community. You're going to go out and do great things. I look back on my class of 2004 and see where everybody's gone off to and see the important positions that they all hold. Important isn't necessarily a matter of ranking. It's important in terms of how they're fulfilled as a person. And I'm really impressed at the fact that I get to be a part of this alumni committee, this alumni recognition. I'm really impressed that I see such a large community. This building used to end just, well, right over there somewhere when I was going here. Seeing this expansion is just phenomenal, and seeing the additional faces here is just fantastic. I'm very pleased to see everybody here, and I can't wait to see what everybody is capable of doing in the future. So I appreciate this award, and thank you for your time.